Hey everyone, welcome back to part 4 of my in-depth review of the new Space Wolves Codex out this today weekend thing. Yes, good. And so far I've covered my first impressions. I like the Codex. I think it's actually really balanced. I think it's going to be competitive. I know some of the cool special rules got removed, but I still think there's a lot of really good options in this Codex. And I've already covered the HQs, and you can take up to 6 of them, the Elite section, and now it's time for the troops. The troops aren't very plentiful, because it's a Space Wolves Codex and it's a Space Marine Codex. Now, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I was kind of surprised that Scouts weren't moved up to troops, because they seem to be moved up to troops in most other Space Marine Codices. So, but it's all good. So we'll start off with troops. Now, there's only really 2 types of troops. There are Blood Claws, and there are Grey Hunters. Now, Blood Claws, every time I say it, I think of Blood Clot, but that's a different story. So Blood Claws got to reduce in points. They used to be 15 points each, now they're 12. So for 60 points, you get 5 Blood Claws, and you can upgrade one to a, and you can take up to 10 additional Blood Claws, so you can have a squad of 15 for 12 points each. Not bad at all. So 180 points gets you, a squad of 15 Blood Claws, and you can upgrade one to upgrade one to a Wolf Guard Pack Leader for 10 points. Not a bad point at all. So Blood Claws are slightly weaker versions of Space Marines. They are only weapons skill and ballistic skill 3, as opposed to the normal weapons skill and ballistic skill 4. Strength toughness 4, 1 wound, initiative 4, 1 attack, leadership 8, 3+ save. So normal leadership, slightly lower weapons skill and ballistic skill. And the Wolf Guard Pack Leader is like a normal Marine with leadership 9. They have power armor, bolt pistol, chainsword, frag grenades, crack grenades, acute senses, they shall know no fear, counterattack, and rage. Rage is cool. They take a Rhino Razorback or Drop Pod, or Stormwolf as a dedicated transport. They take Melta Bombs, they have a bunch of other options. Not a bad choice. If you want a cheaper troop that's really close combat oriented, I would say take the Blood Claws. Personally, I like the Grey Hunters more, but that's just my opinion. And speaking of Blood Claws, there's also Lucas the Trickster. He's the Jackal Wolf. And he's 80 points. So that's a great price as well. Lucas used to be like 140. Now he's 80 points. That's like a 50% decrease. That's really good. And he's weapon skill and ballistic skill 5, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 8, 3+ save. And this is an interesting one. He has a couple of interesting special rules. So he has power armor, plasma pistol, frag grenades, crack grenades, wolf claw, acute senses, they shall know no fear, counterattack independent character. He's the Relic of the Fang. When fighting in a challenge, Lucas the Trickster's opponent suffers a -3 penalty to their weapon skill to a minimum of 1. So once again, the theme of this codex is really challenges and close combat orientate. So that's kind of cool. He's also a Blood Claws hero. Lucas the Trickster can only join a unit of Blood Claws, so if you want to bring Lucas, bring Blood Claws. Pretty straightforward. And if he's included in a detachment that includes at least 1 unit of Blood Claws, he doesn't take up a force organization chart. That also is really frequent in this codex. The free guy that doesn't count not necessarily free, but he doesn't count in the force organization slot. And the last laugh: if Lucas the Trickster is removed as a casualty while fighting a challenge, both players roll off immediately. If the Space Wolf player wins, which is 5/12 of the time, Lucas the Trickster's opponent is also removed as a casualty. Okay. Rebellious. Lucas the Trickster and his unit may never use a leadership value higher than 8 for any test they make. Alright. So basically, I wouldn't give a Wolf Guard Pack Leader if you're going to take Lucas the Trickster, because he knocks down their leadership anyway. But, so, that's interesting. Sorry, computer's making sound. There we go. Sorry about that. And next is Grey Hunters. So Grey Hunters are basically the standard troop. They're the normal Marine Space Wolf, essentially. And they're 70 points, so 14 points each. They used to be 15, so a 1-point drop, which puts them in line basically with Space Marines. And you get 5 Grey Hunters for 70 points. You can take up to 5 additional ones for 14 points each. They may take a close combat weapon for 2 points a model. One can be upgraded, I think, 1 Grey Hunter per detachment may take a Wolf Standard. May upgrade 1 Grey Hunter to a Grey Wolf Guard Pack Leader for 10 points. They come with Power Armor, Bolt Gun, Bolt Pistol, Chain Sword, Frag Grenades, Crack Grenades. Chain Sword's on the Wolf Guard Pack Leader only. Consensus, they shall know no fear, counterattack. Cool. So pretty standard troop. They have counterattack, which is what makes Space Wolves Space Wolves. They always have counterattack kind of thing. And yeah, they're a good, solid troop. Nothing wrong with them at all. I would personally take them in a Land Raider. Not a Land Raider, sorry. I'd take them in a dedicated transport, regardless of how you're moving them around. So Rhino, Razorback, or Drop Pod, or Storm Wolf. Take them in each one. I'll be going over the Storm Wolf in one of the future videos. But yeah, I would take them in a transport. Transports are now good in 7th edition. They survive a lot more, and it'll get them where they need to go. I'd give them probably a heavy weapon of some sort as well. Maybe a plasma gun. Power Fist on the Wolf Guard and Pack Leader. Pretty standard stuff. And that's it. Those are the troops. So this is a shorter video. So I decided that I'm also going to take into consideration the dedicated transports, which are now under the fast attack choices. It didn't make much sense to me. I know like the trucks in Orc Codex are in the fast attacks, but still, I just think that was kind of weird. So I'm going to talk about the Rhino, Razorback, and Drop Pods in this video, and I'll talk about the Storm Wolf in the following video, the fast attacks. So the Rhino, the Razorback, and the Drop Pod all basically got lined up in points costs to the other Space Marines. So basically, Rhino stayed the same, 35 points. Razorback went up to 55, up from 40, and a Drop Pod stayed the same at 35. Pretty standard stuff. Nothing really changed at all. A Rhino is still exactly a Rhino. Nothing's new. A Razorback is still a Razorback, but it can take from the Space Wolves vehicle equipment list. Yep, and has access to Twin-Linked Heavy Flamer, Twin-Linked Assault Cannon, Twin-Linked Las Cannon, Twin-Linked Plasma Gun, like any standard Razorback. Wonder if anything special is in the Space Wolves vehicle list. 99. I do really like these new codices. Personally, I like the look of them. I still am not a big fan of that last page that folds out, but still. It's a good codex. They take Ceramite Plating, which Amelta weapons do not roll an extra d6 armor penetration. Frag Assault Launcher. Any unit charging into close combat on the same turn as it disembarks from a Land Raider, Crusader, or Land Raider Redeemer counts as having frag grenades. Locator Beacon and Seed Shield, which automatically passes dangerous terrain tests. So there we go. Pretty standard stuff. So as I said, Rhino is still a Rhino, Razorback is still a Razorback, and a Drop Pod is still a Drop Pod. Nothing really new and special there. Obviously, the new things in this codex are like the Dreadnoughts that came out, the HQs got dropped in cost, and there's that new chariot that I'm going to talk about in a future video, because you have to talk about that chariot. It is ugly, but insanely good at the same time, but it is ugly. Storm Wolf is a shoe. It looks like a shoe. So let's talk about Storm Wolf then, because nothing else. I know I just said that I wasn't going to talk about it, but I only killed like 2 minutes. So let's talk about it. Storm Wolf, also a transport. It is the new 215-point shoe flying model, and it is ballistic skill 4, front, side, and rear armor 12, which is great. 3 hull points. It's a flyer hover transport, and it's a Storm Wolf. And War Gear, twin-linked Hellfrost cannons. Let's discuss that in some good detail. So twin-linked Hellfrost cannons. I like the Hellfrost cannon. You have 2 shots, dispersed or focused. Dispersed is 24-inch strength, 6 AP3. So already, you know, it's a heavy 1 blast Hellfrost, which has a special rule: when a model hit suffers 1 or more unsaved wounds from this weapon, it must pass a separate strength test from each wound suffered or be removed from play. Not instant killed, removed from play. So it ignores Eternal Warrior. Gone. Solid. And then there's also Focus, which is 24-inch strength, 8 AP1, heavy 1 Hellfrost. That's going to be nasty. It'll kill vehicles. It'll kill anything, really. Strength 8 AP1. And it'll be awesome for picking off things like You know, maybe you'll get lucky and your opponent will fail a strength test, and then they just go, you know, pretty cool. He also has a twin-linked glass cannon, two twin-linked heavy bolters, and a ceramite plating, which, as I mentioned before, the ceramite plating rule. And so yeah, ceramite plating is the melta weapons don't do an extra d6. It only does 1d6. So it's going to be hard to kill. And it's also a stealth vehicle, has power of the machine spirit. It takes 16 models. So that would be really great, I think, for Terminators, if you can get them in there. I think you can. A squad of 16, so you can get an HQ and a squad of, like, it would be kind of fun to put, you know, 15 Blood Claws and Lucas the Trickster in a squad. Fly him over, drop him into combat. Great stuff there. That'd be pretty. It's going to be a nasty combination. I think the vehicles are good. I just don't think they look good. But I really think they're going to be useful on the battlefield. It has a Storm Wolf has 1 access point in the front of the hull, no fire points, and it can replace both twin-linked heavy bolters with one of the following: Skyhammer missile launcher for free. And that is nasty because a Skyhammer missile launcher. Let's go through it. Skyhammer missile launcher is pretty good. I remember. Maybe not. Melee weapons. Skyhammer missile launcher. Yes. 60-inch range, strength 7, AP 4, heavy 3. 60-inch range, strength 7, AP 4, heavy 3. That is going to be good as a light armor vehicle popper. Or just take out a few things. That'll be good, especially for heavy bolters. Place your heavy bolters, get strength 7. Nice stuff. Or 2 twin-linked meltas, multi-meltas, for 20 points. For 20 points, I would take it. So 235 points, you get a Storm Wolf with twin-linked Hellfrost Cannon, twin-linked glass cannons, and 2 twin-linked multi-meltas. This thing will come on and destroy anything it wants the turn it comes in, and then the next turn you drop off your cargo and assault. Good stuff there. Good stuff there. So, that brings us to the end of the dedicated transports and the troops. Yeah, and next video will cover the fast attacks. It's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for next part where I will cover the fast attack choices. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment in the comment section down below if you felt I missed anything or if you have any other ideas. I think it's a good codex so far. Feel free to disagree with me if you feel that I'm wrong. But I think it's good, and I'm throwing out positive ideas on how to create lists. I'm trying to, you know, do them well. So thank you so much for watching. Please like the video. As I said, comment in the comment section down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, because I'm going to keep doing these codex reviews. Every time a new codex is coming out, it's going to be here. So stay tuned for the next video where I will cover the fast attack choices. And until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting.